Team Tanga Tanga was very well represented today as Dennis Itumbi was released. And the major drama was the address, major Tanga Tanga team guys, like Kimani Ichungwa, Ndidi Nyoro, the Kiharu legislator, and Oscar Sudi gave, to the press outside the court. And don't be fooled that these were off-the-cuff remarks. You know, like when you're just coming out of somewhere, the press corner you and ask you for comment, and then you just respond. No. If you review the clips carefully, you will notice that Bwana Ichungwa, was referring to notes. And Oscar Sudi, even dropped a bombshell. He said that after dealing with this Itumbi affair, their next agenda was to organize and fight for the return of controversial lawyer Miguna Miguna. Is this really the Tanga Tanga team talking? Folks, kimeumana kuumana. Now, let us break it down, because the remarks issued by this Tanga Tanga group outside the court shortly after Bwana Itumbi had been released on bail were very, very revealing. And let us start with Oscar Sudi, who spoke first. Now, those who are members of Club 1999 will already have taken in the video where I reviewed Oscar Sudi's remarks at the funeral of the personal assistant of Bwana Mwakomen, the senator for Elgeyo Marakwet. Now, regulars on this channel will note that if I review something in Club 1999, it is sensitive. Because Bwana Sudi, amongst other things, or amongst the things he did, was to call a state official, Bwana Karanja Kibichu, Mutu Kumbafu Sana. By the way, all of us know that when people start behaving the way the Tanga Tanga team is behaving towards authority, only one thing can happen. Let me just give you a quick example. You're in school, and then the prefects tell the administration, "We dare you to sack us." Now, in that kind of situation, there can only be one reaction from the school administration. Not two, one. And it will be to reassert the authority. They would probably go ahead and sack all the school prefects and send them home, expel them or suspend them or whatever. Now, the way we have reached in Kenyan politics is that the Tanga Tanga team clearly, in case you've missed it, seem to be provoking and daring the mighty government of Kenya. Now, I appreciate that this gets very confusing because the Tanga Tanga team is not ODM. The Tanga Tanga team is within the Jubilee government. Let me just leave it at that. Now, today, Oscar Sudi continued where he left off during the funeral over the weekend. And his barbs were fired again directly at the government of Kenya, which is supposed to be a part of, because he's a legislator within the ruling party, within the ruling Jubilee party. But of great interest to me was the mention of a certain name. That name is Nancy Gitau. And even more shocking, at least to me, was the mention of that lady's name in connection to the alleged meeting that was supposed to have taken part in the infamous Lamada Hotel. Wow. Now, let me just slow down. I'm sure some of you may be wondering who Nancy Gitau is. Now, this is a sensitive one, to be able to get a full report of who Nancy Gitau is and why I was so shocked that that name has been mentioned. You will have to take in my very latest weekly intelligence briefs. Yeah. But for now, let me remind you, the name Nancy Gitao was mentioned, yeah, in relation to a plot, yeah, which was called Kaputin. You remember that one? A politician who is a former legislator, a man called Simon Mbogwa, told Kenyans that Bwana Kibichu and Nancy Gitao are making plans, yeah, organizing for a Kaputin to happen in Kenya. Now, Putin is the leader of Russia, yeah, and we all know what happened in Russia, where the president and the prime minister are playing musical chairs, switching positions. So what he was implying was that the leadership in Kenya would go through a Kaputin. That was some months back, yeah, but that is the last time this name Nancy Gitao came out into the open. Now, it is the kind of name that you don't drop in the open. No, there's no way you drop it if you're a politician. And if you appreciate and understand precisely what Nancy Gitao does in the corridors of power. And so, in my view, dropping this name is provocation of the highest order. And Sudi went on to warn, yeah, people who use national institutions to wage partisan political wars. And then Kimani Ichungwa took over, yeah, and said more or less the same thing, except he kept on using a word that I could not believe, yeah, especially in the run-up to the 2017 elections, would ever come out of Kimani Ichungwa's mouth. That phrase, rather, is state mandarins. Powerful state mandarins who abuse their offices. Yeah, another direct barb at the government. And then Kimani Ichungwa went on to introduce something else. He said that the tape, yeah, the evidence that Bwana Itumbi said he had and wanted to play in camera should be allowed to be played in court, because it will help, yeah, investigations get to the bottom of the Lamada affair. Now, today, folks, you'll have to forgive me, because a lot of these things I'm talking about here are super sensitive. And trust me, I've been in this game long enough to know what is sensitive and what is not. And so, I would urge you, those who are able, yeah, to be able to get hold of my latest weekly intelligence briefs, where I reveal, yeah, some of what went down at the Lamada Hotel and what may be, yeah, contained in the alleged, yeah, audio and video clips, yeah, that Itumbi wanted to play in camera. And the good news is that you have up to midnight tomorrow to take advantage of a very special offer we have of 50% discount on the weekly intelligence briefs. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on. The last to speak, yeah, who spoke in Swahili, is the Kiharu legislator and a very firm member of the Tanga Tanga group, a very close ally of Deputy President William Samoei Ruto, Bwana Ndidi Nyoro. Now, Ndidi Nyoro made the big revelation that members of the Tanga Tanga team have received threats. From who? From the people Bwana Kimani Ichungwa was calling state mandarins. These guys are going to send us to a dictionary. Let me just translate it into Kiswahili, yeah, our Kenyan language, yeah, in a simplified version. State mandarins ni wakubwa, watu wakubwa serikalini ambaye ni watu wa mkono. And of course, another way of guessing the meaning of state mandarins is to look at the people that are being referred to. Yeah, Bwana Karanja Kibichu, such people. Fred Matiang'i, yeah, those are the people being referred to by the Tanga Tanga team. So now, let's break all this down. The first thing we must realize is that all these speeches being given all over the place by the Tanga Tanga team are very carefully scripted. Today, after the release of Dennis Itumbi, Kimani Ichungwa, Ndidi Nyoro, and Oscar Sudi were all saying exactly the same thing in different words. I have already told you Kimani Ichungwa was even referring to notes. And so to simplify our understanding of this entire issue, we just need to ask a very simple question. Where are these people going with this? Where is this really going? And let me answer that question, in one short sentence. The Tanga Tanga team is looking for confrontation with the government. I'm sure you've heard, the Tanga Tanga team saying that they're taking extreme measures, to force a meeting of the Jubilee Party. That would mean Team Tanga Tanga and Team Keleweke meeting for the first time under the umbrella of the Jubilee Party. The leader of the Jubilee Party, who is also the president of the country, has been resisting, and has blocked all efforts, to have that meeting take place. And clearly, what the Tanga Tanga team has done, they have now resorted, to provocation to force things, which is, as I've told you, what they're looking for is a confrontation. Because such a meeting of Jubilee, between where the team Tanga Tanga and team Keleweke would face each other, would be a confrontation. And since efforts to make that happen have failed, it seems that now what Tanga Tanga want is to provoke, as much as possible, and still cause the same thing, a confrontation. Now think carefully, in normal circumstances, when you seek a confrontation, what is it really you're looking for? For instance, somebody has been backbiting you, talking behind your back, saying things about you that aren't true, saying hurting things about you. And now you're so angry, you're seeking a confrontation. What do you want to achieve with this confrontation? Usually, that confrontation is aimed at, wait for this one, exposing that person. Oh yes, you heard me right. What you're actually seeking to do is to reverse the negative public image that person has caused you. That's why you want to confront them. Now, what really scares me in this whole scenario, to be very honest with you, is the boldness of the Tanga Tanga guys. And in a way, it is very baffling. You know, some of the people in the Tanga Tanga group have been accused of being the most corrupt in Kenya. That's the image they have amongst the public. Some of the people in the Tanga Tanga group are very well known for the crazy things they have done in the past. And yet, despite all this, these people are seeking a confrontation. Hey. Despite all this, these people are bold. They don't fear confrontation. And yet, their reputation amongst the public in Kenya is not good. Now, let me just give another example to bring clarity to this issue. Let's go back to the early example. Somebody has been talking behind your back, backbiting you, and you're seeking a confrontation with them. However, in seeking a confrontation with them, it is also a well-known fact, this is just an example, it is also a well-known fact that you are a prostitute in Nairobi. You're normally seen in the streets at night, dressed in a skirt that is hard to see. Yes, and then despite all this, you're still seeking a confrontation with, for instance, a housewife. How does that work? Now, don't misunderstand me. Of course the team Tanga Tanga are not prostitutes. And of course team Keleweke are not housewives. But at least you understand what I'm trying to say. In other words, a confrontation is the last thing one would expect the Tanga Tanga group to be seeking. Which can only mean one thing. They know something we don't know. And it seems whatever the Tanga Tanga team knows, Team Keleweke also knows. And that is why Team Keleweke is avoiding a confrontation. Hapa mahali siasa imefika Kenya. I don't know. I just don't know. being honest. Yani we have reached a situation where Team Tanga Tanga is going to campaign for the return of Miguna Miguna. Now, of course, we know this Miguna Miguna issue is a hot political potato. This is something which unfolded after the election in 2017, but it is still a very sensitive issue. Yeah, I mean, to both principals, yeah, Uhuru and Raila, Miguna Miguna is a very hot political potato. And that's a fact. And so in conclusion, the big question has to be, yeah, what will happen next? What on earth is going to unfold next? Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.